Welcome everyone to the Spanish Grand Prix in UK Baltics. Pole position, Spike CB lines up alongside him. After that is Stevie Sakira, who's in third from Dow Boxar and Kios Andale. After that we have Flux Minucci in sixth from Dog Duendo and Carlos Eduardo. Then it is Vastillo and Nicholas Palomino from Ahmed Silla and Livery. P13 is Ocampo, followed by Max Adelaide. In the other Williams, there's Matthew Hart and Vita Alves. From Racket Company and Ultra Bro, with his team at Revo in 19th, your boy in 20th, bottom 4, consists of Chris Cornwell, Lam Fong, Nias Crumpley, and Victor Levi. Here we are now for the Spanish Grand Prix here in Barcelona, as the fire lights come onto your screens. We are racing here in Spain for the Spanish Grand Prix, and yeah, hopefully you have a good race. However, we unfortunately do have broken cameras. As you can see right here, absolutely nothing's happening, unfortunately, when we click on the names. So we have to run on these auto cameras the whole way through this race. And looking at Nice Crumbly, who's right on the left hand side of your boy sending it into the next corner. Livery here in 12th position alongside Ahmed Silla, as we have UK Ball here fighting for the lead of this race with Spiker, and out of the race there goes Nice Crumbly, making contact with Chris Cornwell, who is very lucky to have survived that crash. Yeah, it's going to be a massive relief there for Cornwell to survive, but being involved in an incident like that so early on, it's not good for your race. It's very detrimental to it, and she can't be having that happen to her in the future, especially when Hyperdrive have been at a loss of form. Virtual safety car though coming to an end as we go on board with Ahmed Silla, just trying to get past Antonio Vendetta on the outside the line here. That's never going to work. Vendetta is easily going to have that place for now, so trying to find some room. Vendetta cutting that room off. So yeah, Vendetta doing a good job there holding that place. As we look at the review, UK Ball with Spiker right behind. Boxar coming in quick, but having to slow down due to the Briton being in the place he was. Boxar was boxed in there, and Boxar sees an opportunity. He's up into the lead, but he's got a 5-second penalty now that he's going to carry on with him versus the on the inside line. He moves up ahead of Chaos Andale, up in the 7th position. And yep, Chaos just rolling out here on lap 2, and this is very good racing, despite the camera angles being so weird right now. UK Ball fighting Boxar, reclaiming P1. Ahmed Silla has a 5-second penalty for track limits now. Yep, that's just full violation. That's instant penalty right there. Matthew Hart getting close to some drivers. Livery getting alongside and ahead of his teammate. Colwell trying to go on a recovery drive, goes up ahead of Victor Levi. However, she needs to fight for this position. Levi on the inside line, he's gonna possibly hold that, and he does hold it if you look at the leaderboard. Cartwell's fast lap of this race. Colwell stuck behind Levi, and on this main straight she has a chance to get ahead. Toro Rosso stand no chance here on this part of the straight, and despite the best efforts of Levi, he cannot hold that position. P21 now belongs to Chris Cornwell. And we've got Ahmed Silla here just trying to fight for 9th. We'll try to hold his position, that is 9th. However, yeah, he's got a penalty that's obviously going to very much impact him. As his teammate Livery tries to get ahead of Vendetta, but it's looking to be difficult there. As the Opel driver now finally under threat, as the Vendetta is going to get right past here on the main, on the straight, not the main straight, stupid me. And Vendetta up in the 8th position. Soft tires are for sure wearing out now, and that is also going to be a concern to them teams. UK Ball leads from Serkiera and Spike, and Boxar dropping to 4th. We now got 10 seconds of penalties, which is not good, especially since we're entering the 4th lap now. Spikers came to the pit lane, and Wado as well. You can see Fanucci's also decided to come into the pits, so yeah, strategies are going to be very important around here. As Cornwell looking to lose halfway from 2 days. Nothing she could have done that to defend that one, fortunately for her. Yeah, sorry, can't really be loud or anything because my throat is hurting a lot. I hope you understand that. Versio tried to get ahead of the Vendetta. He's got the traction on the exit of the corner. He's ahead of Livery and the Vendetta as well. He's also going to try to get ahead of Ocampo by the looks of it, as we go on board with the Vendetta, which is Ocampo's teammate. And McLaren holds off Versio, doing a very good team effort here. And yeah, this is working incredibly for McLaren, as they now run 5 and 6 in this race. However, that order could change a little bit. They can't remain 5 and 6. However, whichever way the McLarens are is possibly going to switch very soon, as Ocampo and the Vendetta are very close down this main straight. Ahmed Silla in 3rd place now due to people pitting is right in the back of the McLaren, who are running in 1-2 at the moment. McLaren could use this opportunity wisely. They could develop a big strategy here, because so many cars have all came into the pits all at once. Ahmed Silla just trying to get ahead of the McLarens, but they place themselves perfectly. They are a perfect roadblock to the Opel, but he's found some room, and that room is going to carry him up into 2nd in the race. On the inside here of Sebastian Ocampo, and this should be the lead here for the Senegalese driver, and it looks like it is. However, Ocampo fighting it back on the exit into turn 9, and he stays ahead of the Opel. The Benedetto in 3rd position, just watching on the battle between his teammate and Ahmed Silla. Vitor Alves in P14, he has made a pit stop. He's possibly trying to look to get ahead of Kiers Andele, but he's got fresher tyres. Andele does. He's got a better car, he's got fresher tyres, and he's ahead. Versio picking up penalty there, UKB Belfast in the middle sector. And that is Ocampo into the pit lane, as well as Ahmed Silla. The Benedetto just left to lead. Yeah, soon Alves should get overtaken by Serkiera. That's pretty much inevitable. Spiker sets a fast lap of this race, as we've got Serkiera right now just wanting to get ahead. He's trying to find some room, but Alves is defending pretty well down this main straight. Serkiera using his battery well. He should possibly propel ahead into the first corner. And he's looking at the inside. He's forced Alves into an error, and he's got a fast penalty as well. Dave Serkiera now into P10 in this race, using mind games to get ahead of his employee. Delivery looking to get over Ocampo despite being on a worse compound. He moves up as well into 12th, ahead of the McLaren. And yep, Ocampo cannot fight that livery, putting himself in a very good place right now. To Benedetto and your boy, fighting on for the on-track P1. They would love a virtual safety car very, very soon. It would be massive to their races as well if they are able to get that virtual safety car. And this delivery on the inside of Ocampo, back up at the 12th. These two keep on fighting for this position. It's not even that much of an important position, to be honest. As we look to Rack and Crumply in the Red Bull, never mind the car switch back over to livery, as he's now on a 3-1 track limits, 1 more violation, and that is instant penalty for him, and he will not like that. Heading down mid straight, he's getting closer to Ocampo. This time it's going to be for P9. Ultra sets the fast lap of the race in the Ferrari down P15. He's currently on the very edge of the points, and I guess he'll be happy to score, but this is just not the Ultra that we're used to. Yeah, these new regulations in 2023, the new car model, it's really screwed up Ferrari. The only positive they've seen out of it is Ravo's Australia win, which was pretty much gifted from that virtual safety car. As the virtual safety car, speaking of, is out, because Vitor Alves and Ocampo both crash out of the race there at turn 7. So yeah, Alves is able to rejoin the track. Ocampo, though, is completely out of this race. Unfortunately for your boys, don't really capitalise off its virtual safety car because of where he is on the track. That virtual safety car is going to end very soon. Yep, there it is, the confirmation for you. Right there, it is ending. And your boy is going to be the race leader. He's going to come into the pits, however, and that there. Yeah. Unfortunate time for your boy. He could have got a possible advantage there if the virtual safety car just happened later. But nope, that's not going to happen. As now Matthew Hart just watching behind. He's got Crumply and Versio right on his rear end. Hart with upgrades into this race, hoping to make them work as he pushes himself ahead of livery there. Crumply also doing the same. It's not been a good scene for Rack and Crumply. Yes, he has got a fast penalty, but there is still a possibility here for some good points. And that is something that you cannot deny, as we are on board with Livery, who's being fought by Vestio on the inside line here, and Livery staying ahead right now. And also getting ahead of Matthew Hart, he's up into P8 now. This is incredible for Livery, who's just seeing the back of Rack Rumbly, just wanting to get ahead, powering down the straight using his battery. He moves up now into P7, probably on the outside line. Livery knows he can't shut the door off, because that would result in contact. He's managed to find some room to actually close the door, but not obviously fully shut it. It's a good move into 7th place. We're on lap 9 now of 16 in this race. Fanucci comes to the pits for the second time already, getting rid of them hard tyres pretty early on. The tyre wear around here though, very clearly going to be an issue for the drivers. Silla gets past Capelli, Livery moves ahead here on Daniel Bogdasarov. Bogdasarov gets the position back at turn 1 and picks up a 5-second penalty because he's violated them track limits just once too many times. Not good for him. Armancillo right behind Vitorals, and it looks like he could go for a move here into the next corner at turn 4, and he has got that done. Armancillo now into P12, Vitorals behind in P13, and actually even closed the door as well before turn 5, which is pretty good. Sorry, but before turn 4, no, before turn 5. My bad, I'm getting things very much confused right now, as Matthew Hart is on the inside of Demandetto. Both Versio and Hart have managed to find a gap on Demandetto, and they've both used that gap to get ahead of the McLaren. As we go to the rear view of Versio, and now Demandetto back ahead of Matthew Hart, as drivers have opted to go into pits. Spiker and Rabo have both came in. Spike had a 2-second lead before, so he needs a good outlap here. He needs to completely outpace UK Ball, or else the Britain will take the lead of this race. Livery in 4th though, on for a good result by the looks of things. Demandetto as well, also on for a good result. Could he stay out to the end? I don't know, I don't think he would because of the high tyre wear around here, as that is Crumbly and Livery fighting for 4th. They're fighting for position once more, and Livery's going to go on the inside here of the Red Bull, who's placed his car pretty well for turn 9. He's going to have the inside line of that corner. Livery's going to be forced on the outside, but Livery's got the place anyways. And that's going to be very disappointing for Crumbly, as Owls is now out of the race. Ultra is left here in P8. UK Ball may want to go into the pits right now. I mean, he looks tempted to. He's going to come in. He's going to gain a bit of an advantage here, and this is not good for Spiker. And he comes into his box there. Worst timing here for Spiker, as his race rival has managed to get a somewhat free pit stop. However, they're onto medium. Spiker's on softs. What is that strategy? That is an awful strategy there by Williams. As you go on board with your boy, he burns tires for now for 3 laps. He can probably go to the end easily. He is right behind Marcus Adelaide, and he is catching 3 laps fresher tyres. He gets the move done around the outside of turn 3 with ease. As we now look to UK Ball, who's in this net race first. He's going to go around the outside at turn 5, unable to get ahead of Astio, who stays ahead. But with a switchback on the exit, he moves up into 2nd place, now catching Dodge Verdetto in the McLaren. Chris Cornwell and his teammates in P15 on the edge of points, trying to chase after Vic Levi, but her tyres are wearing out, and a pit stop will be coming very soon. Fanucci and your boy were fighting just there. It's hard to understand what's happening when the cameras are being so weird. Carson Water here going to go down on the mid straight ahead of, someone's into the wall, and out of the race goes Armid and Lamfong at the final corner, and Verstier's going to get a nice free pit stop. Fanucci as well. A free pit stop, you gotta love it. Yeah, Felucci gets penalty served nice and easily as well as Versio. Okay. Okay, lovely stuff. We've actually got access to the cameras back now, as you can see. I don't know what had happened there, but the cameras are now back operational. We can finally now click on the button to... Okay, never mind. Okay, I guess that was only for the virtual safety car, which is quite annoying, but for the moment, things look good. Okay, well, moving up into the lead of this race, now ahead of Vendetto. However, will his mediums last to the end of the race? Well, we'll have to find out. Spiker now 10 seconds away from his race rival on worse tyres. That are very waters. Felucci goes right into the side of Rabo there. If that's what the penalty was for, I'm not surprised. Just went straight into him like a torpedo. Mark Adelaide gets a 5-second time penalty for Williams there. Not good on his end, as Ryan Crumbly also picks up a 5-second penalty. Once more, further adding to his awful season. Spiker and Sabertech both come in, but Spiker is forced to slow all the way down there. And that is not good. Oh, on the inside there, that was a bit of contact there. Oh, how the hell has Bogdassara survived that quick application of the brakes, and he's managed to survive that collision? Incredible reaction time there from Bogdassarov. And also to not get stuck in the gravel too. Absolutely incredible from him to survive that. As Versio goes on the inside, he moves ahead of your boy. He is now in P3 for Red Bull. And that is a P3 I don't think Red Bull would have ever expected. Heading into this race, your boy could look to the inside line, but he's not going to get that. I've got a suspicion that your boy may want to come into the pit lane. His tyres just don't look good, and yeah, the team down at Mercedes may not want to risk things like this in Singapore, because we all know what happened in Singapore. The risk well and truly did not work. To head out into the pit lane now. Versio just hanging 10 seconds behind UKB. Livery on the main straight. Get ahead of Marcus Adelaide. He is up into 7th position. That right there is a very legitimate 7th position as well, because the Vendetto is quite a distance back right now. Raver casually getting chased down though by the two. And yeah, he's at massive risk of losing these places. Livery on the inside of the line. He's going to clear the Ferrari by the time they reach turn 5. Marcus Adelaide will try and copy it, but Livery's placed his car very well. Except even that, he's under pressure. And Livery does lose his place. Adelaide up into 7th now. And yeah, they're just swapping around. Ravo maintaining P6 somehow. As Ultra goes on the inside of Matthew Hart to take P11 off of him. Hart better traction and power on the exit. Is going to go for the move on the Ferrari once more. They're going to fight in towards turn 9. And the worst side but Matthew Hart has got the place. Hugs Fenucci in P4 right now. As you just see Chaos and laid right ahead. I don't know how Versio is going to manage to the end though. His tyres will be wrecked. Like Eduardo, it looks like he might just make it to the end of his stint. So that is going to be a bit of a relief for him. As Spiker on a recovery drive right now, trying to get ahead as many drivers as he can. He's got Rocket Trumply right alongside him pretty much. And oh, the batteries ran out there, and that's not good. He's lost a lot of time there from the battery running out when it did. But luckily for him, he will maintain P14. However, Sergio are not afraid to pose a threat here. The Ford is a pretty powerful car. I mean, it's the same power as Spike as Williams, but Davey has more risk on his driver, so that's obviously going to play out to his advantage. Hanging on to the last lap down, it is UKB who's leading the way, and oh, into the wall and out of the race goes Crumbly and Spiker. And that is most certainly going to be pretty annoying for UKB. I mean, sorry, for Crumbly and Spiker. I'll just about UKB because he's leading the way right now. And I'm gonna stay on board with him right now because the camera, being as weird as it is, may not put him on at the very end of the race, because we typically do view the winning driver. The other Britain has drove an incredible race. He's managed well on strategy. Medium tires was an interesting gamble, if I'm going to be honest. A very interesting one that's on the main straight. Ultra gets ahead of Matthew Hart on the track. Of course, Hart has had that penalty, so it doesn't really matter anyways. But now into the final sector, UK Ball is going to look to be a race winner again. Picked up 3 wins last season. Well, here is his 4th in 2 seasons now. UK Ball is going to become the 6th different winner of the 2024 season. He wins the Spanish Grand Prix. And following home will be Versio, who's going to stand on the podium for Red Bull, just holding off on the strategy there. Kios Handley will come home for 3rd on the track. Finucci finishes in 4th. Your boy, though, I don't think he's close enough to stand onto the podium. I don't know, though, yet. And it looks like Andalay will just hold off. Finucci as well, only just hold off as well. Wow. So your boy getting very unlucky. Just missing out on place there. Matthew Hart has seemed to have gotten a full car puncture at the very end of this race. Dave Sarkar is going to round off the top 10. Rodal Bogdasarov and Chris Cornwell, who's going to finish in P12. Then it's going to be Victor Levi and Matthew Hart from Livery, Palomino and Eduardo, but looks like these guys all seem to have full car punctures, as we have actually regained the ability to switch camera angles. Livery crossed the line for P15. Palomino is going to finish in P16. Frank Carlos Eduardo in P17. Of course, now I'm just watching these drivers as they approach the line. I'm currently on board with Palomino in the cockpit camera. And I'm just waiting now for Eduardo to get around the final 2 corners. Must have been a very long last lap for them. Eduardo trying to do 7 laps on that tyre, it's ridiculous. I will say though, Versio did get pretty lucky there to get the end valve puncture. 1 more lap and that would have done it though. So UK, well, your winner today in Spain, alongside Versio getting a podium for Red Bull, something they probably wouldn't have been expecting, considering how their season has been going so far. But after that though, it is Kios Andalay who stands at the podium for Audi, with a pretty good race for the German outfit. They well and truly do need this one. Okay, well, picking the Hyperdrive's 2nd win of the season, and with that, let's listen to the British National Anthem. Okay, we're going to save from Versio and Adelaide. After that is Felicia and your boy from Duetta and Marcus Adelaide. Rayo finishes P8 from Ultra B9, and Dave Sarkar, Dalbot Sarah, Chris Cornwell, Victor Levi, Matthew Hart, Livery, Lux Palomino and Carl Salvado with Rat Crumply down to Nice Crumply out of the race. After that, we're done. Spanish Grand Prix. Can't wait to see you next time for round 7 when the APX F1 series returns.